Hello Aquarius, welcome to this reading. We're going to be taking a look at the current energy for the sign of Aquarius for the month of September. Now do keep in mind that this is a general reading, so take the messages as they resonate, drop the ones that do not, and also check out your sun, moon, and rising signs. Let's go and take a look at what we have going on here for you, Aquarius. Now I am using the Golden Art Nouveau Tarot, the Rider-Waite Tarot, as well as the Kipper Oracle deck. There are links to all of these decks in the description below if you'd like to pick them up for yourself. All right, rapid fire. Rapid fire. Let's go ahead and see what we have here. Make sure we're all set up and in view, and then we'll get right into it. And I think that looks just about good enough to me for right now. All right. We'll also take 3 of these, or let's call it 4 of these Kipper cards here as well to clarify as we go along. Okay, energy on the bottom. You have the Knight of Wands. So the Knight of Wands is really a card that you love to see. You know, it's been coming in for a lot of people here. And this Knight of Wands many times will speak to or foretell a move in locations such as you changing your zip code, moving to a new state, moving to a new city, moving to the town over, maybe even moving to a new country if you have the world as well, but I do not see the world here. But it can talk about movement. It can talk about travel as well. If you're not looking to move your residence, it can just talk about maybe you traveling. The other thing is, I always like to say that the Knight of Wands card is like the van life card. Okay, have you ever heard of like van life? Have you ever been on the YouTube rabbit hole where people like live in their vans and they remodel Sprinter vans and they kind of just live on the road? That's kind of this Knight of Wands energy, right? It's like or there's this other one called like digital nomad, or being a nomad, a digital nomad, where they can work from a distance and live wherever they want in the world. That's kind of like the Knight of Wands. The other thing is that this can be about you being a maverick as well, somebody who has so many skills, talents, gifts, abilities that you have to sort of offer the world. And so the Knight of Wands could certainly talk about all of those things. We do have at least one other travel card that I'm seeing here. It's probably by vehicle, but could be really just travel generally, as we have the Chariot that can indicate vehicles in your life. So some of you might be engaged in travel. Seems to be coming in for people. You know, I will just give you this friendly reminder, which is the majority of September will have a Mercury retrograde. And it's nothing to be afraid of, but it's just if you are traveling, simply give yourself extra time because there can be delays. Mercury rules travel, and especially if you're flying, just give yourself extra time to get from point A to point B. So yeah, just something to consider, but let's go ahead and dive into this a little bit more. Now in the overall situation, we do have this Knight of Pentacles card here. The Knight of Pentacles is a card that I consider to be one of the Empire cards. There are a bunch of cards in the tarot where you're clearly building something, building your empire, building your legacy. This person is certainly kind of ruling over their empire. They are sitting on a throne. They have a pentacle in their hand. They have whatever this is, a scepter, I don't know. A crown on their head, and if you see the castle here in the background, this person actually lives in the castle. Castles in tarot represent rewards and riches, and so the idea here is that this person has done it, like they've made it, they've gotten to the castle. And you can also see the fruit on their clothing. Fruit in tarot represent abundance, harvest, the ability to sustain yourself. All of those sorts of things can come forward when you get the King of Pentacles in a tarot reading. And so some of you are trying to just kind of figuring it out right now, and in your money situation definitely looks very good. Some of you could be traveling or moving for a job. You might even be attending a conference this month as well. Would not be surprised to hear Aquarius people doing that. In the beginning of the month, you have the Fool, the Ace of Pentacles, and the Queen of Wands showing up here. So powerful new beginning showing up in the beginning of the month. Definitely embracing the unknown. If you have Libra in your chart, like I'm an Aquarius moon, maybe you're an Aquarius, maybe you're an Aquarius sun, but you have a Libra moon or a Libra rising or something, definitely check out the Libra reading as well for this month, because that could really give you some clues. But You have the Fool here, which, you know, is really, for me, the most powerful card because it starts off everything in the tarot. It's the first card, it's the chain reaction. The Major Arcana tells the story of the Fool and the Fool's journey through the Major Arcana. This is the kind of protagonist, if you will. This is the hero, this is the main character in the story, and this is you. And so this is you starting your journey. You starting a powerful new journey in a new direction or in a new place here when you get the Fool energy. And you have it paired with the Ace of Pentacles, which some of you could be making an investment. Of course, this is not financial advice. Please do consult your financial advisor or a financial advisor. But the Ace of Pentacles can talk about like planting a seed. You can actually also see the crops here in the foreground. Again, crops are a very good sign in tarot, but also as you see the hand is sort of offering a pentacle out, this can talk about making an investment or making a sale, making a purchase, making a sale. It also is associated with like contracts, document, paperwork, like all of those sorts of things that you need to do when, for example, you buy a house, or for example, when you sign off on a new contract or a new job or get into a new school. Like you have to kind of do all of those things. It is part of your new beginning, and that is the Ace of Pentacles energy here. But you have two cards indicating a new beginning, and a powerful one at that, as the Fool's influence is here as well. Now, lastly, you have this Queen of Wands. Amazing energy. The Queen of Wands is all about attracting something into your life. This is a law of attraction card in the tarot. This person can literally attract whatever they want in their life, but they must be authentic, and they must not try to be anybody else. Because the thing is, the Queen of Wands, they'll always attract something, but if they are being somebody else, or if they are being inauthentic, they'll attract something that they don't want, or that they don't need, or that is not in alignment with them. And so when you look at, and so you want to make sure you're in alignment with yourself, because you're attracting. The Queen of Wands says you are attracting right now. Now, if you look at the Sunflower can talk about expression, and the Queen of Wands is a bold, assertive, expressive, confident, courageous type of energy. But more importantly, those need to be like qualities that you have, right? Like you should be bold, confident, assertive, courageous for yourself, not for anybody else. And if you do that, you can get this new start, right? Be unequivocally Aquarius, be unequivocally you when you get the Queen of Wands. Now, in the middle of the month, you have the Chariot, the King of Pentacles, and you also have the Death card here showing up. So you have two cards that really people get afraid of in the tarot, with the Death card in the Tower. I should note that the overwhelming amount of cards in this reading are positive. Like there are way more positive cards than challenging cards. And it really just depends on how you view the world. Like, are you a glass half full or a glass half empty type of person? Because if you're a glass half full type of, or glass half empty type of person rather, or whatever the positive one is, whatever the positive ones, I'm on the positive one. I need to really think about it sometimes. Glass half full. Yeah, I think glass half full is, I don't know. I look like a fool. I sound like a fool because I get those two mixed up. But if you have a more positive view on the world, Aquarius, the Death card is really just about a transformation in one's life, okay? This is about something changing and something new beginning. It's like you could say the old guard kind of going away and the new guard coming in, okay? It can say that there's something new here happening in your life. The Hierophant is on this card because the Hierophant is something that is traditional, and the Death card says goodbye to tradition, right? It says let's embrace something new. Let's bring something new in and let's see what happens, right? Let's see what happens. And so when you get the Death card, it's really just a reminder to embrace something new. And for some of you in this month, you could be starting a transformation in your life, especially around, it seems to be like work, money, or even like traveling or movement. Like work, money, maybe travel, movement is kind of like what's showing up here in the reading. I talked about how you have this Empire card in the middle, definitely a good sign. You definitely have a lot of signs of abundance here. You know, the crops, the idea of attracting, the fruit, the new beginning, the powerful new beginning, embracing the transformation. And so I definitely love to see that for Aquarius people at this time. You also have this Chariot here, which it can speak to your vehicle, right? So like literally your car. Some of you might be buying a new car, selling a new car, but you could also just be traveling. And, you know, I'm kind of getting this idea here. The wings are showing up as well in this, the imagery of the wings here, which I don't always pick up on. But what I'm feeling there is, you know, some of you are ready to fly, right? So I talked about how like you might be traveling by vehicle, but some of you, it's just like, I feel like in your life, you're ready to let it fly, or you're ready to just like go for it, right? And leave behind what used to be, as you have the death card symbolism here, and embrace what can be in the future for yourself. And I do think that some of you are ready to do that. Yeah, so definitely love what's coming in here. Let's go ahead and take a look what is in the future. So in the future, you have the Tower, the Queen of Cups, and the Temperance card. Now listen, here's this other card that a lot of people misunderstand or misinterpret, I should say. The Tower is a blessing in disguise, okay? The reality is that these people here were trapped in this tower, and if you notice, there are no doors on the tower. They had no way of getting out previously. And guess what? Now they can get out, right? Now there's a way out, and the reality is that this tower represents a house of cards in one's life. Nobody wants to live in a house of cards, and so whatever is on unstable ground, the tower brings to its foundation. But that's actually a good thing, because again, you don't want to live in a situation that is, you don't want to live in a building that does not have, that is on unstable ground. And so it can feel like, the tower can feel like the world is collapsing around you, but the tower always leads to the star. The tower always leads to some type of positive outcome. And I should say, it really depends on, you know, your ability to make the best of a maybe challenging situation, or even your ability to respond to a challenge is extremely important when you get the Tower card. But like, just realize that you can. You also have this powerful card here of the Temperance energy. Temperance is dipping their toe in the healing pool of water here. So it can be a really nice card of good health, of good healing. But more importantly, the Temperance card is about balance, okay? And balancing something out in your life to bring something big in. The Temperance card can really, you can see I learned this recently, you can see the triangle on their clothing. The triangle is an alchemical symbol. And they're also, I've always known this, but they're also doing alchemy between cups here as they're mixing elements. And the idea is that through balance, you can truly create something amazing in your life. You can alchemize something. And so for you, there may be a little chaos here with the Tower. There may be some change here that feels scary, but ultimately, there's also this really powerful energy of you alchemizing, you getting a new beginning, you maybe even attracting something here. You definitely, 2 Law of Attraction cards with the Queen of Wands and the Temperance energy, definitely nice. I should also point out in the corners, 3 of the 4 corners here have major arcanas with the Fool, the Tower, and the Temperance card. So corners are also significant. They really help lay out the reading. Same with the middle card. And so for you, you have major themes showing up potentially in this month. You have this Queen of Cups here as well. The Queen of Cups is all about trusting your intuition. It also is asking you to take care of yourself through maybe, in this case, chaos, because you have the Tower with it, or through change as well, and just trust in your ability to do that. Let's go ahead and take a look at these 3 Kipper cards here. Oh, 4 actually. I forgot we had 4 that came forward for you, Aquarius. So you have Poverty, High Honor, Child, and Thoughts. So it is true. I mean, I believe this. I wouldn't say this if I didn't believe it. Your thoughts really do drive your reality. And, you know, with this Poverty card and the Thoughts card, oftentimes that's asking you to align your thoughts towards positivity, towards abundance, and move away from these stories that come forward in our mind where, you know, if you catch yourself, for example, in this month saying like, I'm unworthy, or I can never do that, or I can never get her, I can never get him, or, you know, I'm not good enough for this, or whatever, like really drop that story, drop that struggle story this month, because your thoughts are really important. Some of you are really embracing your child self here with the Child card as well as the Fool. And then the High Honor card says, listen, you have the respect of people around you. You really do, with the High Honor card and the Knight of Wands. So just recognize how strong you are. Let's go ahead and take a look at clarifications here. Now, if you're enjoying this video so far, please do hit that like button and subscribe, as it really does help my channel grow in a big way. You have the Three of Cups, you have the Five of Swords, you have the Nine of Wands, King of Cups, Ten of Pentacles, and the Two of Cups. You know, it is possible that some of you are just not talking to yourself in a healthy way, especially if you're looking to attract love into your life. Again, it's like you can attract something into your life here from what I see, but what you attract or who you attract is really going to be dependent on how you think of yourself, as is always the case, but in this case, it's coming in very clearly. And so if you do not think of yourself in a high way or in a positive way, you might attract somebody who just brings you down or knocks you down all the time. Nobody really wants to be in a relationship like that, right? And so I think for some of you, you could, if you're single here and you are looking to attract somebody, you could find somebody. It might even be at a distance, or it might even be through travel. Would not be. I'm again looking at the wings here above the Two of Cups card, and so yeah, there's something about wings, flight, taking off, taking flight, ready to fly. You know, letting it fly, like things like that. You know, I think that's how you could probably find somebody. You could also find somebody through your friend group here with the King of Cups and the Three of Cups for sure showing up. That would not be surprising, especially because you have the King of Cups and the Queen of Cups. That is a counterpart in the tarot. And so that's kind of the love energy that I'm seeing here. It's finally coming in towards the end of the reading. But for everybody else, you know, you have another Empire card here, the Ten of Pentacles, the King of Pentacles. Now listen, empires take a lot of work to build. Okay, very rarely are empires formed out of luck. You know, in life we get a little lucky, for sure. For sure, there's luck and risk and everything. But by and large, empires take energy and effort to build. And so if you are putting in the energy and effort, this could be a very profitable, a very good period of time for you, or it could just mean that you are kind of moving or taking flight in the right direction to build that for yourself. So thank you so much for being here. If you enjoyed this, hit that like button, subscribe. Really appreciate you, and I will see you in the next reading.